enjoying life and going with the flow.
What's up, Coach Bergen here again, and we are on episode 9 of the Coach Bergen Show. All right, look at this. Here we go. Our guest today is Spencer. What's up? How are you?
How are you?
Good. What's up? How's your day going?
Pretty good. Can't complain. It's a nice, quiet Monday at work, and got some time to hop on live with you.
Awesome. So you're competing at the next top level pro. I don't know what event number we're at. I'm guessing it's 21, right? Or are we at 20?
I'm not sure. I think it's 21. Might be 20.
Okay.
Either way, shows a lot.
June 21st.
Yep.
Who are you competing against?
I believe it's Justin Fields. I know last name is Fields. Not too sure who he is though.
Okay. How long have you been training for?
I've been training since on and off, started in like 2018, but on and off through COVID and injuries. But started a little while ago and really ramped it up post-COVID.
Okay. So are you mostly just grappling, or do you also do MMA?
No, just grappling. I have as you can tell, I have a very pretty face. I like to keep it that way.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to ruin that.
No, couldn't.
All right. So, what has been your favorite match you've had so far?
I've had some really good matches. There's two that stand out to me. One being Yuri Panfarov in reality fighting. Really just back and forth match. I caught him. He caught me a lot more than I caught him, but I caught him, into, submission here, submission there. Just attempts. It was a really fun match to watch. And I've watched it back a couple times and I've learned a lot from him. He is one of the toughest people I've ever rolled against. And then Quentin Pasley was really fun to roll against as well. That match was a really fun match as well. And he's an up-and-comer in the MMA world. And I don't know if the match would go the same way. I beat him in that match. I don't know if the match would go the same way now. He's really excelled. I'd love to give a rematch, kind of, off the books, whenever. But
because you don't want it to count against you.
No.
Yeah, you'd rather do it in practice or something.
Yeah, exactly.
One
of those fun ones.
Yeah, of course.
And I've also faced Yorgon De Castro twice, which was that one wasn't like a super fun match, but a super fun experience. Yep.
What weight do you compete at?
I like to compete at that 205, 210 weight. I unfortunately blew out my knee. I think it was March or February of this year. So I put on a few. That's what happens when you stop training as much. Yeah. But I know this match is going to be at around 220, and then I'll get right back down to my normal weight. When I competed against Jorgen, that one was a heavyweight match, so I put on a little bit of weight for that, trying to get up to his size, but got nowhere near where he is. He's a big boy, but he's super strong and super friendly too. Yeah. That's where I typically compete at. That 205, 210 is really my sweet spot.
Okay, that's where you feel the most comfortable at.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So you don't cut weight then?
I try not to. For grappling, I don't really see much point in it.
Because you're competing same day.
Yeah. So, I mean, with top level, they let us weigh in the night before, which is nice, but it's kind of just one of those things that I wake up, I weigh myself. If I'm a pound over, I just won't eat until the weigh-in. Or something like that, but I just don't understand why you got to cut too much weight for a grappling match,
right?
Especially at these
at this level.
If you're at ADCC and you want to compete at your weight, and you're going against all these other guys that are juiced up to the gills, you want to cut weight and be at the lightest you can be. But at these competitions, I think that especially because there are some people that are competing every weekend. Cutting weight's got to suck for that.
Yeah. If you're competing that often, you definitely don't want to be cutting weight.
Exactly. So
that's gonna just destroy your body.
Exactly.
And I remember, like, for high school wrestling, that was what people would do. And but I was lucky to be like below the lowest weight class. Like I was walking around about 100 pounds, and the lowest weight class was 103. So it was like I could eat. And I remember like one day, one of the captains yelling at me, like, "Why are you eating? We haven't weighed in yet." And I was like, "Because I'm hungry."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What do you mean? Because you're hungry?" And he's like flipping out on me. And then I was like, "Bro, I'm like 5 pounds under. Can you just chill out?"
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure he was starving when he
Oh
was
yeah,
coming at you. So
yeah, he had to have been.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just not. I don't know. They need to find a way to remove it from the sport because it's not the ultimate weight cutter. It's the ultimate fighter.
yep,
You know.
yep.
Um,
Totally agree.
and yeah. All right. So if you could compete against anybody, who would it be?
It's a great question. A really good question. There's a lot of people on the circuit right now locally that I'd like to compete against. I know there's a couple matches I didn't get to do. I'd like to get those back. That we've announced, and that just either I was hurt or they had to pull out or something like that. Any of those guys really would be nice to compete against. I know that some of them have moved on to MMA, some of them have moved up in weight or down in weight, whatever that may be. But just to get those matches back that I wasn't able to show up for because of my injury or their injury or whatever may have happened. Um, that's definitely one of those that I'd like to get back for sure.
Okay. So where do you see your career going with grappling? What do you see yourself doing in this sport?
I'm gonna be out there in ADCC trials. That's obviously the end all be all for the sport, I think. And then outside of that, just continuing the super fights and just enjoying myself in grappling. It's really a passion of mine. I love it, and I love getting out there and competing. It's that rush, the adrenaline is really awesome.
Okay. How did you get started with grappling? I don't know if I asked you that yet.
No, not
All
yet.
right, cool.
It was kind of just one of those things. I was a very fat kid.
Okay.
So unlike you, I didn't have I didn't have a problem gaining weight.
Yeah.
I was really fat. And just I started to lose weight, and a couple of my buddies were doing jujitsu, and I was just like joining in on their practicing and stuff like that, and it ended up just being like we had a couple mats that we'd roll out and just at a not even a jujitsu gym, like the actual gym. We just roll and try and learn, and that's really how I got started, just to kind of lose the weight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun way to lose weight and like not even notice that you're exercising because you're just enjoying it and having fun. And
Well, I
it's
mean, when you start grappling, you're not enjoying it. I'll tell you that much.
right. Yeah, that's
You
true.
are not.
That's true. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
That was like a long time ago for
Yeah.
me when I first started
Yeah,
learning. I mean,
you're
even now I still get my ass kicked sometimes, but like,
every day.
it's inevitable.
Yeah, every day.
Um, you know, but yeah, that's how you get better. All right. So, how did you get started with Top Level Pro? Is this your first match for them, or have you competed with
No,
them before?
I've competed with them a couple times, and it really just came down. I forgot who was doing. One of my teammates was competing for Top Level Pro, and he told me about it. And then I was like, "Hey, I'll hop on the next one." And then I think this is like the fourth or fifth Top Level Pro event that I'm a part of for competing. And then again through Top Level Pro, I competed for CES twice.
Okay.
So yeah, that was cool.
Awesome. So, so those were super fights
Yep.
then. Okay. How did those? So, like with MMA, you have a record. Like when you win, a 1-0 or 2-3 or whatever it may be. With grappling, is that all being tracked?
I think so. I think it's on Tapology.
Okay.
It's all tracked. Again, I competed against some of these guys. I know with Yorgon, I competed against him in CS twice. The officials say that I lost two matches against him. I'll say I lost the second one against him. He knows I
Okay.
lost the second one against him. The first one I wouldn't have gone that far, but that's besides the point.
So how did the first match go then?
Um, First
Because it
match,
sounds like you feel like you won.
I don't know if I won, but I definitely didn't lose.
Okay.
It was one of those things. It was one of the matches where we didn't do anything. It was kind of like one of those matches where, but I will say I had the more forward pressure. And not to say anything, negative about him or the officiating. It was just one of those things that not much happens. It happens in all sports.
Right.
And it just went his way, and
Sometimes there's
the
not much
officiating, yeah,
action.
exactly,
Because
yeah.
you're so focused on not letting the other person get to a better position that you can't really advance.
It's exactly what it was. I mean, I tried to enter into any kind of bottom position from him. I'm a guard puller. I like to take the negative connotation away from that. But so I tried to enter through the legs, through the hips, any way I can get to a submission. But he was just really good at staying away and being confident where he was.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the guard pulling thing. I knew a guy once when I first started training. He was a pro fighter, and he had told me, he was like, I suck at doing
Yeah,
takedowns, so I just started jumping guard.
yeah,
And he was like, that's just so much easier for me because then they're where I want them, and all I got to do is sweep them over.
yeah.
And it was like, wow, I like what? But then I started trying to do it, and it wasn't working as well for me. I was getting ground and pounded.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
so it's like it's a skill, but it's a skill you got to learn and you got to develop and you got to practice and drill a lot.
Yeah, it's one of
Um,
those things that works really well in grappling because,
yeah,
someone's
because
top,
you're not gonna
someone's
get hit.
bottom. I don't know if it works too well in MMA.
Right.
I don't want to find out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You don't have to worry about getting hit in the face. Um, cool. All right. So, do you have a favorite submission?
Um, my submissions, I've been, really attacking the legs, but my favorite submission is the head and arm.
Okay,
From
like an arm triangle.
Yeah, like
Okay.
an arm triangle from top mount or side control, whatever the position is.
Mm,
That's because it's the most controlled position. And I just think that legs are fun, but the chokes are really where it's at.
yeah.
You know, one of those things that sounding of the gurgling is one of the best sounds you can hear. One of the worst sounds you can make, but one of the best sounds you can hear.
Yeah. Um. All right. So when you do the arm triangle, are you grabbing your bicep or are you grabbing your hands?
I'm a hand to hand.
Okay.
Um,
Got it.
Yeah, because I like to have the ability to use my hand that I'm grabbing can either grab the wrist or push the arm over if they try to defend it. Everyone tries that, telephone
I'm
defense.
no. I mean, when you lock it, you're grabbing your own hands or you're grabbing your bicep.
No, I'm hand to hand. So
Your
I'm
hand to
gable
hand.
gripping.
How
Yeah.
does that have your hand free then?
So because I can readjust it. I'm not stuck in that position
Okay.
to have to keep it
Oh, so
there.
you're
Um,
letting go and then grabbing it again as you're
yep.
needing to adjust.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So if you were to grab the bicep and you then have that arm free, that you can move it around
So I feel like you
if
lose
you need it.
mobility when you grab the bicep to be able to move away. You kind of got to get a little bit tighter in the sense of your body to body, and
Right.
I feel like a lot of times you can get swept that way.
Mm.
But
And it's also you're a different body type than I am
yeah,
too. Because you're bigger guy, stronger
yeah,
guy, so it's gonna be less space and probably not as easy for you to be able to grab your own arm. Yeah,
that's the thing. These, I'm going against these bigger guys,
mm.
so
That
so,
too, because they're
yeah,
bigger too, so they have even less space.
exactly. So
Yeah,
some of the traps aren't even traps; they're like traps on traps on traps. So those are the tough ones.
yeah, for sure. Okay. What has been the have you, okay, so tell me, has there been any matches where you thought you were gonna lose and then you surprised and came back and won?
Prison came back and won. I don't think any matches have been like that. I know that when, like Quentin specifically, he's 6'6", big dude. I'm 6 foot, so I look tiny compared to him because he's giant.
Mm,
Uh, he might be taller than 6'6", to be honest. up there. I know that a lot of people were, writing me off in that match, but I was able to get that win. So it wasn't like a comeback. It was kind of just like, where I wasn't expected to win, but I did win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's do some fun
All right.
questions. If you could eat only one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
All right. So that's a loaded question, right? So it's one meal, but is it like, is there variables
Yeah,
in it? Because the answer is okay.
Like
'Cause
I usually will say omelet,
yeah.
and then I can put in vegetables. I can put in whatever meat.
Okay.
You can vary it up in
All
that
right.
sense. Yeah.
Because my answer is a chicken cutlet. A good
Okay.
chicken cutlet is the base of everything good. Whether it's with marinara, vodka sauce, with cheese, with on a sandwich, on a whatever that may be, with pasta on the side, whatever. The chicken cutlet is a staple, and that's my favorite. So that's my go-to for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
A gorilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think they live pretty good lives, whether it's in the zoo or out of the zoo.
Mm.
Not many natural predators, pretty close to humans, but not. And they're massive creatures.
Oh yeah.
So,
They're strong too.
yeah.
Even chimpanzees are strong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I'd be the gorilla that signs up for that 1,000 men versus me. I'd be like, sign me up.
And then you just take out 1,000
Yeah.
guys.
Look, I'd try it. I mean, there's a chance they take me out, but I'd try it if I was a gorilla.
Well, I don't even know how that would work. I mean, I think eventually the gorilla would get tired, right?
I mean, I don't know how long 1,000 guys are gonna stand a gorilla because
I don't know.
I don't even know if it's the attacking or the way to it like get after it, but after you watch the first guy get ripped in half, I don't know how many 999 are gonna go back.
A lot of people are gonna cower away.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think that takes a big piece of that.
Right. Okay. So, all right, we did that. All right. Do you have any favorite stories about training that you want to share?
Training. There's a lot of training stories. I mean, I've in a lot of different rooms. I like to, go to this gym, go to that gym, through these competitions as well. You make a lot of friends that you've competed against or that are on the same card, and you just kind of talk to them, and you get to go experience different rooms and different gyms. But my gym specifically with Essential under JT Torres, I mean, it's one of the toughest rooms, and he's one of the toughest coaches. There was one night that a couple of us, we went out to dinner in New York City. We went out to like a chicken spot. I forgot what it was called. It was like one of the nicest, like they do like the Japanese fried chicken or Korean fried chicken or something like that in New York City. And we all posted about it. And then day after, went into training with JT, and he was just berating us, yelling at us, "No chicken here, no chicken here." Just really funny. But it really just motivated me and just pushed me to my limits that day. I was not able to move much for the rest of that day. I'll tell you that much. Yep.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So that is all I've got for you today, and I will be seeing you at Top Level Pro.
Yeah.
And I will let you know when this gets uploaded. It's most likely going to be tomorrow.
Perfect.
Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, and then clips will go on here. So awesome.
Appreciate it. Well,
where do you want people to find you? On Instagram,
yeah.
or do you have other social medias you want plugged?
I don't really use any other social media.
Okay.
I'm not a huge Instagrammer either.
Gotcha.
But you guys can find me here. I post my matches here as well. So just Spencer Manevich. And then I'm sure you'll tag me or something. So
Yeah. I'm gonna link it in the description below.
Perfect. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for making the time today.
Yeah.
And I will I'll see you soon.
Perfect. See ya.
Time clocks the
Bye.
spot,
Alright.
and there she was like fate, yo, connecting the dots. But to have her in my life, she wasn't down for the role. Like Truman's girl for Fiji, it's out of my control. Of course, it's a TV show, plots wild, no doubt. Born on Valentine's Day, heart's been tossed about. All these women in my script tearing me apart, but I'm flipping the page, new chapter, fresh start. It's the Coach Bergen Show, I'm the star, let's ride past love's old crushes. Yo, I'm waving goodbye, life's a movie, I'm Truman breaking out the frame. Write my own script, ain't no one to blame. Coach Bergen Show, yeah, the credits gon' roll. Let go of the past, now I'm freeing my soul. See the crowd in my life, they all clap for the kid. Done chasing shadows for the love that I did. This my Truman moment, sailing out to the edge. World's fake walls can't hold me, I'm jumping the ledge. Every crush was a lesson, every tear was a take. Every late night text was a choice I'd remake. Now I'm editing the cut, snipping out the pain. New scenes dropping daily, sunshine after rain. So here's to the Coach Bergen Show, curtains up, let's go. Old flames in the credits, I don't need them no more. Simone, like that girl who was moving to Fiji. Truman vibes, I'm free, world's mine, you don't see me, yeah. It's the Coach Bergen Show, fade to black, I'm whole. Next act's all me with a brand new soul.